Hey, hi everyone, my name is Sumit and I welcome you all to the brand new foundational course for PSIR optional. So without wasting any more time, let's get started and let us see कैसे इस particular course को हम लोग proceed करेंगे and this is going to be the lecture number 1 and हम लोगों ने orientation session में तो proceeding of UPSC को तो discuss कर लिया था. आज हम लोग content को discuss करेंगे and most importantly हम लोग optional को discuss करेंगे. Now from this batch, a new concept I have developed after the successful implementation of the race initiative जो हमारा daily answer writing program चल रहा है उसमें मैं ये चीज़ अप्लाई करी एंड 10-15 डेज में बहुत ही गजब रिस्पॉन्स आया. लोगों की कंटिन्यूटी काफ़ी अच्छे से मेंटेन रही एंड दैट इज़ वाई आई हैव इंट्रोड्यूस दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इन द फाउंडेशनल बैचेस फ्रॉम नाउ ऑन. सो फ्रॉम 1st June बैच everyone has to follow the concept of DPP. The concept of DPP is daily practice problems. So after the class, you will be given DPPs. So this is the DPP one which I have made and it is to be given after lecture 1. यानी इसके बाद ही आपको मिलेगी. So what will be this DPP? This DPP will be consisting of some assignments which will be given to you. And you have to solve those assignments and come in the next class. Then only you will be called as, you can say, task completed. So what is the assignment which is to be solved after the class 1? So the first question is read about SARC from Google. What it is, what is its agenda, what are its problems. Just read it. Second, read about the article which is given below and this is from the Vision magazine of April 2021 and make a separate copy of IR and make short notes out of it. Yes, you have to, you can say, compile this article into some shorter version, right? And please ensure you reduce this article, which is a long article, into 1/10. If there are 100 words in the article, ensure your short notes should be having less than 1/10. That is सिर्फ 10 शब्द ही आपको इसमें लिखने. I'm pretty sure it has more than 100 words. So please condense it to maximum 1 to, you can say, 20%, right? But not more than 20%. धीरे धीरे you will be writing a lot, but then you will be checking out the important things, right? And separate copy को बनाएं and separate copy में how you have to make it I will be also telling you. So if this is your separate copy, let us say this is the separate copy. So the first page you can just write it for the content. ठीक है, content को आप बनाएं. This should be only for IR. This should be only for IR. And in the content section, leave 2-3 pages. 2-3 pages छोड़ दें and 2-3 pages के बाद से start करें. And what you can do is, आज the task is of SARC. So write down about SARC and obviously the article which I have given is also linked to SARC only and South Asia, right? So and just number the pages, like your copy will start from page number 4, page number 5. So on page 4 is SARC. Now you have written something about SARC, so SARC come here and page 4. Now let us say after 4-5 days again I give you a task and again कुछ SARC का कुछ पढ़ना इधर उधर से you studied that, you want to write it. Now that is on 7th page. So write SARC heading and write whatever you studied, let's say from the newspaper. Come back, comma 7, comma, let us say after 15-16 days you studied, it's on 11th page. So now when you have to revise SARC, just open 4, just open 7, just open 11 and your SARC is ready, right? Same cheese goes for, let us say I give you the task, you have to study BeamStack, right? Or let us say you study BeamStack from newspaper, right? So it's on, let's say next day is on page 5. So page 5, let us say it's on 6, let us say it's on 24, right? तो ऐसे आपकी एक मोटी कॉपी तैयार पैरेलली होनी चाहिए for IR. This is expected from you from day 1. From day 1 we will be attacking the IR, right? And it is very basic IR. Now please remember this is basic IR. I am expecting कि आप थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ेंगे. Content will be given to you so that you don't need to research a lot, or I can say you don't need to do a lot of PhD आपको करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, ठीक है? That is my promise. So what you need to do is just go and read what is being assigned to you, right? So I will show you again. This is the assignment which is given, and obviously the third assignment is बिल्कुल सही बात है, that watch the class lecture 1, which is this. Otherwise, how will you do these DPPs? So in every class, or mostly in every alternate class, you will be given a DPP, daily practice problem, which you would have to solve it very sincerely. Trust me, there will be more than, I think, more than 200 classes, if I'm not wrong, or perhaps less. तो आपको at least 100 to 150 DPPs मिलेगी, and we'll be covering a lot of chunk of the syllabus through DPPs. I'll be teaching you SARC, but I'll be teaching you SARC after, let us say, 2.5 months. But why are you waiting if SARC is coming in the newspaper? Why are you waiting, sir? Isn't it or not? So please don't wait for SARC. Please don't wait for me to teach you SARC. I will be teaching you, but please ensure you read the articles and you do the assignment very, you can say, sincerely. Soon I'll be including even GS agenda, right? From, let us say, if there is no article on, let us say, IR, I'll be giving you a task that you have to read parliamentary committees. I'll be telling you the chapter from Lakshmikant. Read and make short notes. So please ensure you are solving them very sincerely, right? And if you do this, the concept of DPP has ensured that every student remains on his toes. This is the concept. Trust me, I am running the race program and the students are like crazy. There are people who say, sir, आपके इसके चक्कर में हमने 10 दिन से चलो यार सॉल्व तो कर रहे हैं, 10 दिन हमारी पढ़ाई तो चल रही है. तो similarly you have to show up, right? If I am showing up, please ensure you are also sincere, you are also solving these problems, right? So today's task, today's agenda is given to you, right? Because initially we will be going slowly. Initially PSIR में main content थोड़ा सा इतना important नहीं होगा, but then when we pick up speed, then the questions will increase. Make short notes, revise that, right? So you will be given. तो अभी के लिए class 1 का just lecture you need to revise, and you just need to read the article and make short notes out of it, right? So DPP will be given in such a manner so that you don't have much load. If a lot of load is in the class itself, then I will not be giving such articles to read. Then read the class notes, make the short notes out of it. But if the class is light, if the class is very easy going, then you will be given some important tasks to do. I think this is absolutely clear. This is the new model which I am trying to apply, and from now onwards in every course whichever comes on the PSI club will include the concept of daily practice problem, even in the GS courses which I will be launching in times to come. So please ensure you are following this. Okay, I think this is very simple. So on this note, let us start off with our course and let's begin with some simple concepts. Let's discuss some simple concepts and then we can proceed to higher concept. So सबसे पहले we will be studying about political science, right? So first you need to study about the word called as politics. This concept should be absolutely clear with you, right? Now if I ask you about politics, everyone has, you can say, some meaning or the other about politics, right? अगर आप लोगों ने different तरीके से देखा है politics, तो people will say that so it is a very dirty thing, right? And generally the conception is the youth does not want to participate in politics. अरे ये तो politics खेल रहा है, ठीक है? You have heard this, right? But what does this term actually mean, right? So this we need to understand. Now understand the fact that politics, wherever it comes, there is something related to power. Something related to power. Now see, the term politics itself is very contested, and in fact we will be studying about the entire political science. हर एक political science का जो term है वो कहीं ना कहीं अपने आप में contested होगा, right? ठीक है, एक type का आप कहना नहीं कह बता सकते, right? And that is why it is termed as, you can say, social science. In social science 2 plus 2 can be anything, ठीक है? 2 plus 2 is 4 also, if you go by the fact that these are called as the binary numbers, right? ठीक है. And if you go by the Boolean algebra, right? So these are, the 2 plus 2 can be 2 also, right? Plus and ये आपका OR gate हो गया. So what it means is there are perspectives in political science. Similarly, every term, whatever we discuss, it is always open to, you can say, multiple interpretations, right? First and foremost, understand this term, right? Multiple interpretations के लिए it is always open. And same case goes for politics. If you talk about politics, right, the one common thing which you will see is something related to power. Something related to power. We will study it in a detail, but अभी के लिए इतना ही आप यहाँ पे समझिए, ठीक है? And if you talk at international level, you will be seeing that politics refers to, international politics refers to, you can say, a relationship between states on an international level, right? तो international level पे भी कहीं ना कहीं it has changed, but central concept still remains somewhat related to power. Now, politics as a concept was defined very nicely by Max Weber, a thinker, and in his famous lecture in 1918 as Politics as Vocation. This is important. इसमें उसने he tried to propose the concept of politics, and politics को he tried to define in a very, very broad manner. Very, very broad, very, very wide concept he gave of the politics. That he said that politics was extremely broad based, and it comprised any kind of independent leadership in action, right? Any kind of, you can say, leadership in action, right? Again, who is a leader? Who is a leader? Who exercises influence, who has the commanding authority, right? If A is the leader and here are his, you can say, team members, A has commanding authority, A has power. So this is, you can say, leadership in action. He or she is exercising power. So again, he or she is trying to influence them. So something like politics, यहाँ पे आप इसे कह सकते हो. So Max Weber says that that it is kind of, you can say, it comprises of independent leadership in action. Now, do you find leadership only in the profession of politics, right? MLA, MP, क्या सिर्फ वहीं पे leadership मिलती है क्या? नहीं. You have leadership in action in your boss, in your you can say workplace, ठीक है? You have leadership in action in your home, right? Mother, father, ठीक है? So that means politics is present everywhere, and whenever you see, whenever you will go, you will see the relations of power are existing everywhere. Relations of power are existing everywhere. Everyone is trying to, some way or the other, trying to influence the other person. Am I not influencing you? Am I not influencing you? I am. Okay. No doubt I am not using force, but still I am using some kind of influence on you. I can tell you, read this book, you will go and read it, right? Isn't this called as influencing? Isn't this called as exercise of power? See, I told you, every term is contested in political science. Generally, power का मतलब बच्चे क्या सोचते हैं, अरे भाई सन्नी देओल वाला 2.5 किलो का हाथ, ठीक है? That is called as hard power. But there is something called as soft power also, the power of love. ठीक है? You yourself came to me, you yourself paid the fees and are watching this. So is this a soft power or a hard power? It is the soft power. It is the power of willfulness. You are willingly coming to me and you are paying me to study, right? So this is the concept of soft power. So similarly, you can say, whenever there is the word called as politics, it has to go about something related to power, something regarding influencing, something regarding, you can say, independent leadership in action, something regarding hierarchy, right? Hierarchy. Because if he is at the top and he is exercising influence, so isn't this hierarchy? B ka boss C, like, sorry, C ka boss B ka boss A. So this is what is hierarchy. So these are all relations of power. These are all relationship of what? You can say, you can say these are all relationship of influence, right? Same thing if you see the government. Let's talk about government. If you see, you'll easily understand. At top we have, let us say, the cabinet secretary. Then unke andar niche certain there are joint secretaries, right? Then there are more, you can say, let's say there are at the state level, secretaries at the state level. Then you can say there are SDMs, DMs, right? Then there are SDM, right? And that's how, then you can say topmost, you can say from the bottom, like सबसे नीचे तक clerk वगैरह and what not, ठीक है? I'm just giving you, ठीक है? And then इनके ऊपर there is the political executive, the cabinet minister, followed by the prime minister, right? So ये क्या है? Influence ही कर रही है, right? Isn't this, you can say, relations of power? Isn't it or not, right? And that is what Max Weber tries to define. He says that the concept of politics is very wide. You will find politics everywhere, in every field. Wherever there are relations of power, wherever there are hierarchy, wherever there are people trying to influence another, they are somewhere involved into politics. So politics is not only about that thing which you see in TV, right? That is, you can say, a narrow version of politics. ठीक है कि पॉलिटिक्स बहुत गंदी चीज होती है. नो, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, राइट? दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी नैरो वर्जन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस. एंड दिस बुक इज इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड दिस थिंकर वी विल बी कोटिंग हिम अगेन एंड अगेन. रिमेंबर मैक्स वेबर एंड हिज बुक, or you can say his lecture on politics as vocation. Politics as vocation. It was his famous lecture in 1918 where he tried to define politics, any kind of independent leadership in action, right? And in whatever context you can say this leadership is there, jahan bhi leadership hogi, right, politics is present, right? It's very, you can say, our bad luck that we are seeing this only in the politics as profession, political sphere, but there is politics also in the economic sphere. There is also politics in the social sphere, right? So politics is present at every sphere. Please get this thing in your head, right? अब से वो narrow वाला point मत पढ़ना, right? Done. I think this is very very simple. This needs no second thought, right? And that is why Max Weber said that politics is not necessarily, politics is, read this, politics is not necessarily a matter of government, nor solely concerned with the activities of politicians. Politics exists in any context where there is a structure of power and struggle for power, right, in an attempt to gain and maintain leadership position. So come back to this diagram. How is the politics present here? क्यों नहीं politics होगी? क्यों नहीं politics होगी? This guy wants to go here. 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 This guy wants to maintain his position. So everyone is trying to maintain its, you can say either maintain or go on the top. So they are all trying to play, you can say, politics. Politics के process में involved automatically है, because there is a structure of power, there is a struggle for power, there is an attempt to gain or maintain leadership position, right? And see, you can see university politics, politics of trade unions, right? One can discuss sexual politics. Now what is this sexual politics? Simple, domination of one sex over the other, right? Men over women, women over men, right? And when you try to attempt to alter these relations, you are involved into politics. Isn't this clear? Then there are politics of race, right? One is trying to dominate the other is trying to, you can say, alter the situation, right? Politics of color, politics of caste, politics of creed, right? So everything, you can say, there is some way or the other आपको politics दिखेगी. Even in your family there is politics, there is a structure, right? हो सकता है your mother might be at the top, हो सकता है your grandmother might be at the top, your grandfather might be at the top, your father might be at the top. There are many families, right? So there is a power structure, right? And that is what one needs to understand. There is leadership in action, there are relations of power, there is a hierarchy, right? So this is what we have studied, and this not I am saying, this is being said by Max Weber in his famous politics of vocation. Politics of vocation. So just if you want, you can write down the famous thinker as well as his lecture, And just you can note down that Max Weber, in his famous lecture of 1918, Politics as Vocation, he proposed the concept of politics in an extremely broad-based manner, and he talked about politics comprises any kind of independent leadership in action, right? Politics relates to power relations, politics relates to hierarchy, politics relates to you can say any situation where people are trying to climb up the ladder of hierarchy, right? You can say where people are constrained, where people are constrained or dominated by or subject to any kind of authority of one kind over the other, right? And they are trying to break this chain, and so there exists politics, right? Okay. And it can happen that people are constrained by a set of structures or institutions rather than by subjective will of persons. तो हो सकता है institutions की वजह से politics हो रही हो, right? तो ये यहाँ पे you should be remembering this. Now in that very same lecture, later on, Max Weber himself said that if you wish to understand the politics, then you have to understand that who has the maximum power. ठीक है, अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं in your society, in your thing, who has the maximum power? ठीक है, on in India, who has the maximum power, right? So generally you will say the political class, right? The government, the state, right? Isn't it? And hence you can say that state is the central political association, or the central political, you can say the central arena of politics, right? Everyone wants to become state, isn't it? भाई आप लोग ये एग्जाम क्यों दे रहे हो, IAS क्यों बनना चाह रहे हो? That you become the part of the state so that you have maximum power. And you playing politics. Yes, you are also playing politics, but this is the politics of exam, right? This is the politics of competition. You want to get good marks, and that is why you have come to me, so please teach us, right? So this is also politics. So what Max Weber said, that the state is the central political association, the government is the central political association, it has the maximum power, and everyone at the end of the day somehow want to acquire that power, right? And hence they want to participate in the political process, they want to participate and they want that power, right? And that is why we will be studying the concept of state. Economic society हम नहीं पढ़ेंगे, दो वहाँ पे भी power relations है, but maximum power relations you will be finding it in the political arena. And hence Max Weber said that if you want to understand the politics, understand the leadership, or you can say understand how there is an influence of leadership in a political association, and hence state. So from now on, politics will be associated with the power relations in the state. State is the central political association, and who controls politics will be all about who controls the state power, what is the purpose, for why the power is used, what is the consequences, and so on. All this will be dominating area, ठीक है? And that is what Max Weber said. So I hope आपको थोड़ा सा concept politics का समझ में आया होगा, ठीक है? And somehow you could relate it, but yes, itself is a very contested term, and we will be discussing it in times to come. But एक हमने term को यहाँ पे discuss कर दिया, politics का related to power, related to hierarchy, related to leadership in action, and ultimately it is related to state or the government. अब obvious सी बात है, the next question which comes to my mind, that what is state, sir? अब अगला आपने politics बताने के बाद state बताओ फिर, आप ही ने तो term लाए हो, you have introduced this term, now please tell us what is state. We will be now discussing state, but I hope you got what do you mean by politics. That according to Max Weber and his already quoted lecture, Politics as Vocation, he argues that politics is concerned above all with the central political association, that is state. So from now onwards, this should be the definition of politics. That it is the regarding the association, argues that politics is concerned with all above central political association, state. State से regarding politics associated. And Max Weber से ही क्वेश्चन पूछा गया, Max Weber, please tell me, who is a state? You just now said that who is a state? You just now quoted, right? It deals with politics, deals with the central political association, that state. Now who is it? So Weber says that in a particular territory, right? In a particular territory, state is the only, you can say, organization which has the monopoly of legitimate use of physical force. What I said? Weber says that state is the sole organization which has the monopoly over legitimate, which I say legal use of physical force. फिजिकल फोर्स मतलब डंडा, ठीक है. स्टेट इज द सोल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अब आप समझ रहे हो कितना ज़्यादा ये पावरफुल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, राइट. इट ओनली हैज़ द पावर, इट ओनली हैज़ द लीगल पावर टू यूज फोर्स अगेंस्ट एनी वन, राइट. ठीक है, आपने देखा होगा, इफ यू किल अ पर्सन, राइट, you will be hanged, right? But you have heard about policemen. They kill a lot of people in encounters. They are not hanged because they have the sole right. चलो ऐसे लो, you start hitting डंडा to everyone, you will be trapped, you will be put behind the bars. Policemen, right, they are using डंडा in the lockdown. उनको तो कोई कुछ नहीं कह रहा, ठीक है. Why? Because they have the legal right to use force. So they are a part of the state. And who recognizes this legitimacy, right? It is us, the people. The legitimacy must be acknowledged by most, if not all, of those who are subject to state's power, right? If people don't accept your legitimacy, then they will revolt against your rule. So people have to accept this, right? And that is why this is what relates to politics, that how do you ensure that your rule is legitimate, right? Your rule should be appearing to be legitimate. That is what is the role of politics, and that is how you come to power, and then you utilize your power, and that utilization of power is legal in nature. Now let's try to understand what is this state and कहाँ से ये क्या concept आता है, ठीक है. Let's go back to history, right, and try to relate it to the Greek, ठीक है. Greek के time से let's try to relate this, and then we will see that how Max Weber was right. So Max Weber talked about relating this politics to state, right? And now we are discussing about state, but let's go back to the times of Greek. Now see, first time Greek, they used the word polis, right? Actually the word political is derived from the word called as polis, and polis was representing back then city states. Actually में क्या होता था, Greek के times में there were small kingdoms, right? And they had the loyalty, they were like city, and all these cities were independent, you can say, units of governance, right? So these were called as city states. So for right now के लिए अभी के लिए city को भूल जाओ, अभी के लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ state मानो, right? So political is polis, polis regards to state, right? And actually you can say the same meaning in English was related to civitas, right? Civitas. Now what is civitas in English? This regards to civil. And what is civil? Civil regards to public welfare. Public welfare, right? So all this term, political, polis, civitas, civil, state, public welfare, they are one and the same thing. And that is why we have civil service. See, again I proved that you are coming for the civil service. Civitas, state. You want to come into the state. You want to serve the people. You want to do public welfare, right? So all these terms are the same. And the Teutons, back then there must have been a tribe, right? जो different states होते थे और different tribes होती होंगी. तो Teutons उनमें से एक थे. They used the term status, right? आप देखो तो आज भी you can say इसी से ही the word has come to state, right? And that is where we got this word. So ultimately civitas, civil, polis, politas, right, teutons, status, all this are pointing towards what? The public aspect, right? The public welfare. And actually in political science, state was first used by Machiavelli, who used the term state in political science. Officially state इसने use किया था. उससे पहले terms थे, they meant state, but exactly वो state बोला नहीं गया था, right? तो ये चीज़ यहाँ पे अच्छे से समझने की कोशिश है. That is ये बात क्लियर है कि जो आज का हम स्टेट चिल्लाते हैं वो 16th सेंचुरी तक क्लियर ही नहीं था. It became clear only in the 16th century, right? And the people living in the greater part of medieval Europe did not know the concept of modern state, right? And in course of time the word became popular. तो actually में जो आज का state है, that is actually called as modern state. That is also called as modern state. क्यों? क्योंकि ये modern times में आया है. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि पुराने ज़माने में ये नहीं था बट नाम कुछ और था, ठीक है? अब आप सोचते हो कि पुराने ज़माने में क्या लोग कुछ ड्रिंक्स नहीं पीते थे, क्या अल्कोहल नहीं पीते थे? ठीक है यार, पीते थे, वो तो हमें भी पता है, इंडस वैली वाले भी पीते थे, बट ठीक है आज वोडका बोलते हैं उसको, ठीक है, आज उसको, ठीक है, ओल्ड वाइन, ओल्ड मॉन्क वगैरह व्हाट नॉट, ठीक है? तो चीज़ें पहले भी थी, ठीक है? तो ये चीज़ यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना. सो द ग्रीक जो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टेट, बेसिकली कॉन्सेप्ट वहीं से आता है, ग्रीक से, राइट? एंड लेटर ऑन इट गेट्स मॉडिफाइड टू सिविटास, टू स्टेटस, टू एक्चुअली स्टेट, right? And all they have the same notion regarding something regarding public welfare की बात करते हैं. And that is why we have the civitas service, also called as the civil service. तो ये तो हमने स्टेट का nomenclature को अच्छे से derive कर लिया. Don't worry, all these things will be given to you. You will be given to read all this in assignments. So don't worry my dear friends. If you are wondering कि सर हम लिखें या नहीं, अभी मत लिखो. I will be giving you a lot of reading assignments from which you have to read and make the notes. So please don't worry. अभी just sit back and relax. तो हमने टर्म पॉलिटिक्स को समझा, उसी से ही आपका पुलिस आया, उसी से ही आपका स्टेट आया, एंड अब हम स्टेट के रूट में पहुंच चुके हैं. बट अब भी क्लियर नहीं हुआ सर स्टेट एक्चुअली में मीन क्या करता है. मीनिंग तो समझ में आ गया, समथिंग रिगार्डिंग पब्लिक, समथिंग रिगार्डिंग पॉलिटिकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ये वो है. बट व्हाट डू एक्चुअली द मॉडर्न नेशन स्टेट मीन्स? So from now onwards we discuss what is the modern nation state. So a modern nation state has 4 elements. It has 4 elements, and that is G plus S plus T plus P. That is, it should be having a government, it should be sovereign in nature, it should be having a territory, it should be having a fixed population, a fixed territory, right? And that is what is the elements of the state, right? And from now onwards, whenever we are talking about the modern nation state, so it means government plus sovereignty plus territory plus population. Actually, the modern nation state is what we have to study. But in ancient times, it has evolved. Earlier, there were city states, right? Then it changed in the medieval times to confederation, right? And then in the modern times, we have got the modern nation states. मॉडर्न नेशन स्टेट्स, राइट? सो हमारे सिलेबस में कॉन्फेडरेशन वगैरह नहीं है बिकॉज मेडावल हिस्ट्री इज नॉट देयर. सिटी स्टेट्स एज अ सिलेबस में सिटी स्टेट्स नहीं है, बट मेजरली देर आर वेरियस थिंकर्स एंड स्पेशली प्लेटो, एरिस्टोटल, दे बोथ टॉक अबाउट द सिटी स्टेट्स. तो हमें प्लेटो, एरिस्टोटल को जब पढ़ेंगे सो विल बी स्टडिंग. इन मॉडर्न टाइम्स वी हैव thinkers like Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke and what not, like Mill. They all talk about modern nation state. Medieval time का कोई भी thinker हमारे syllabus का नहीं है. That is why we'll be studying city states, and basically city states को तो पढ़ना भी नहीं है. What we need to study the thoughts of Plato and Aristotle. What did they say about the state? And that is what is required. So let's keep it down till here. And अभी इसको read नहीं करना है, ठीक है? जब हम लोग मॉडर्न नेशन स्टेट वगैरह को अच्छे से और डिस्कस कर लेंगे इन द नेक्स्ट क्लासेस इन द टाइम्स टू कम, देन आई विल बी गिविंग यू द असाइनमेंट. सो दिस विल बी कवर्ड इन डीपीपी में आपको डीपीपी 2, डीपीपी 3 में आपको यही पढ़ने को दिया जाएगा. आज के लिए बस इतना ही. यू नीड टू रिवाइज, एंड DPP1 को पूरी आपको सॉल्व करनी है, स्पेशली दैट क्वेश्चन ऑन सार्क एंड दैट आर्टिकल विच इज गिवन. So thank you so much guys, and see you tomorrow. And initially we'll be going at a slow pace, and then in times to come we'll be picking up, right? So don't worry, from tomorrow we will be discussing it from here. So thank you so much guys. Till then, take care. This is me Sumit signing off. Bye bye.